Imagine a man shrouded in mystery with links to some of the most powerful people on the planet. His name, Jeffrey Epstein. A financier by trade, Epstein's wealth was as vast as it was questionable. Yet, it was not his financial dealings that cast a shadow over his reputation, but rather his personal life. Rumors swirled of Epstein's dark dealings involving the exploitation of underage girls. A shocking truth unfolded. Epstein was not merely a predator, but a puppeteer, using these vulnerable individuals as bait to compromise and blackmail some of the most influential figures in our society. The rich and powerful found themselves ensnared in Epstein's web, their reputations at his mercy. But this man, who seemed untouchable, found his world crumbling down. Epstein was arrested, and then he was dead. His mysterious life ended in a shroud of controversy, leaving an array of unanswered questions in its wake. Epstein's web of connections wasn't limited to just business tycoons and politicians. It extended to the mysterious world of international espionage, specifically Israeli intelligence. Now, it's important to remember that these are allegations, but they are allegations backed by quite a few sources. Epstein reportedly had ties to former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, and was close friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, whose father, Robert Maxwell, was suspected to be a Mossad operative. Epstein's own wealth and influence would have made him a valuable asset, and it's suggested that he may have used his network to gather compromising information on influential figures for Mossad. The perks: protection, power, and a sense of invincibility. But the world of espionage is a dangerous one, and Epstein's involvement could have made him a lot of enemies. Epstein's ties to Israeli intelligence add a new layer of complexity to his already perplexing story. Epstein's strategy was simple yet horrifyingly effective. Use underage girls to compromise influential people. And among the people Epstein allegedly blackmailed, there were 5 who stood out. First, we have a prince, a member of the British royal family. Then there's a former president, a leader of the free world. A high-profile lawyer, known for his courtroom prowess, also fell into the trap. A billionaire retail magnate, whose empire stretches across continents, was not immune either. And finally, a renowned scientist, a pioneer in his field. Each one of these individuals, powerful and respected in their own right, were ensnared by Epstein's web. Allegedly, they were compromised, their integrity tarnished, their reputations at risk. The details are sensitive, the allegations severe. Epstein's actions, if true, reveal a dark underbelly of power and privilege, manipulation and deceit. These 5 high-profile figures are just the tip of the iceberg in Epstein's scandalous operations. On August 10, 2019, Epstein was found dead in his jail cell. The official cause? Suicide. But evidence suggests a different story. Now let's delve into the puzzling circumstances surrounding Epstein's death. The guards on duty that night were notably absent. And the surveillance cameras? Conveniently malfunctioning. A series of coincidences? Perhaps, but it's enough to raise an eyebrow or two. Then there's the autopsy. The medical examiner's findings of broken bones in Epstein's neck were more common in homicides than suicides. Renowned forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Barden, who observed the autopsy, stated that the evidence points more towards murder. His claims, however, were met with a wall of silence. And let's not forget the powerful people who stood to lose a lot if Epstein talked. The timing of his death, right before he could potentially spill secrets, looks suspiciously convenient. Is it possible that Epstein's death was not a suicide, but a murder? The evidence certainly seems to suggest so. Epstein's story is more than just a tale of a wealthy, corrupt man. It's a mirror that reflects the dark side of our society. It forces us to grapple with uncomfortable truths about power dynamics, the role of money and influence, and the violation of trust and innocence. Epstein's narrative reveals a world where those with wealth and power are seemingly untouchable, able to exploit and manipulate for their benefit. It's a world where influence is traded like currency, and where the innocent are often the ones to pay the price. But perhaps the most disturbing implication of Epstein's story is the violation of trust. These were not just any young girls. They were lured into a web of deceit and exploitation, their innocence stolen from them. So we must ask ourselves, what does Epstein's story truly mean for our society?